Dominique Nelson. Alors, basically, Dominique, alors Dominique was a student of Kevin, so she prepared the GMAT with Kevin. Maybe Kevin, you want to introduce me in our collaboration? Maybe Kevin, yeah? Hello?
Okay, so what I remember about Dominique is she was from Argentina.
Hmm?
And
That's right.
Very hardworking. Struggled a lot with the GMAT. I forget what your final score was.
We don't have to say. We don't have to say. We don't have to say. Dominique, we don't have to say. So she got a good score. Score that is good enough to get in. What else you want to say? Basically, yes, that's what you remember. I know Dominique well because I was your coach, Dominique, so we worked together on the application, the interview. By the way, Kevin, Dominique is French as well. She's from Argentina. She lives in Spain, but she's French.
She's French. I thought it was from Argentina.
Yeah,
yes, I am
French
from
roots. Yeah. I don't know how it comes that your ancestors went to. Because it's very rare that French went to Argentina. You have a lot of Italians, a lot of Spaniards, but I know. Alors, basically, Dominique, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, of course. I'm Dominique. I was born and raised in Argentina, but as Kevin said, I am living in Madrid since 4 years ago. I've been working in consulting, specifically for financial services at Bluecap. I don't know if maybe any of you knows it. And I got into IESE, so I'm starting my MBA in September in Barcelona. And that was one of my top 3 choices, so I'm really happy.
Yeah, you're really happy. Basically, yes, Dominique, to say more about yourself. So you're a very international person. We have never spoken French together, but I think that you like native. You have studied in Argentina, okay, and you work in financial services, etc. Basically, Dominique, what are the 3 schools that you have picked up initially? What are the 3 schools that you had in mind initially?
I had in mind in SEAD. I wanted to go to the Singapore campus, LBS, and IESE.
Okay. And why have you finally, because we have not applied to INSEAD and LBS, why have you decided to finally limit your choice, reduce your choice to 1 school only? And why IESE? Being already familiar with Spain and already having your network in Spain. Tell me.
On one hand, because I see my future in Spain, so I wanted to enhance and improve my network here. I thought that was a very positive thing about the IESE. And really what changed my mind and really convinced me was going there to an interview in person and getting to know the school and the people there. I really, really liked it. And the case method was like a differential way of teaching that they have that I really enjoyed in the open day that I was there. So those were my main reasons.
Maybe we can explain how it works. To the students who are here. So if you apply to IESE, you have the exact same process as the LBS process. You have to complete an application with letters. You have to send your GMAT or your GRE, a language test if you're not native or if you don't comply with the conditions. And then you have an interview. Okay, but IESE has something specific that maybe you can explain, which is an interview day somehow. Okay, so can you explain how this interview day works?
Yes, exactly. I was invited to the assessment day where I had to go to Barcelona in person, and they separate everyone. It was about 100 people the day that I went. There is 1 assessment day per application round. So I went there. We were about 100 people separated into teams of 7, I think. And we had to solve a case. We all had like 4 hours to solve a case in teamwork. First present ourselves and then read some information that they provided to us in some booklets and analyze like the financials of the company in this case. And finally, we presented in front of the other teams to explain our solution and what we thought was the best approach. And during all this process, each group has 1 representative of IESE that is evaluating you along the way, let's say.
Okay. And so what is interesting, because you're from Spain, so there's less interest for you, but the day before, they organize a campus tour. Okay, so on Friday you have a campus tour. Okay, and on Saturday you have an assessment day, whereby you have what
Yes, they repeated the campus tour on Saturday also because there were some people that didn't go to the open day on Friday, so that was great.
So basically you had the campus day,
Yeah.
the campus tour the day before or on the same day. Usually they organize a lunch, so it's very nice. And of course the location being very 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 being fabulous. Okay, many people after going there want to stay there. It's funny because I have students who have been accepted both to INSEAD, LBS, and IESE, and they hesitate for a long time because they really love and enjoy the location and the surroundings. Okay, basically, maybe we can have some of the people who are there. Maybe they can ask you questions before we move forward. So, Juan Miguel, Gabriel, Ali, Jordi, you have questions for us? On the admission process, for instance? Hello? No question.
Yeah, no, not on my side. I still haven't started the MBA application process, so I believe that when I start to get my hands on it, I believe I'll start having questions.
Yeah. Now, basically, can you explain the rest of the admission process? So, can you explain, Dominique, what it is from the day you have decided to contact Kevin up to the day you told me, very happy, I've been accepted to IESE. How long did it take you? How long does it take? And what is the process in general? And what would you advise during this process? What should we do during this process?
Yes, it took me about, I would say, 6 months on and off because I was, for most of the process, I was still working. So I had to do both things at the same time. So it was slower. Let's say I couldn't dedicate myself too much. But then I quit my job in end of February, and I did the GMAT in March and in April. So it was like 2 months almost of full GMAT. I think that was key, like being able to focus on a short period of time for long hours instead of doing like bit by bit every day. And then you have to write the application essays, that there are like some questions that the IESE asks, and you have to prepare some essays answering regarding your future plans, what you want to do, describing a bit about yourself. I don't remember very well now. And you also have to get recommendation letters, which usually are written by the person applying, and you send them to your recommender so that they sign it and send them, so that you make sure that they tell like a complete story about your profile. And then I had an interview with a person from admissions on IESE and the group interview in Barcelona. And that was all. They were quite fast answering, so they took like 10 days since the in-person interview in Barcelona to give back an answer.
Okay, so you have to understand.
I applied in round 3.
Round 3. So you have to understand that the most difficult part, that's why you're here today with Kevin, of the application is the GMAT. Okay? Because the most difficult part, because it's not like an exam where you say, if I get a 5 out of 10, I will pass. Because you have to try to get the best possible score. So imagine that you're Jordi, you say, I'm going to try to take a practice test. As for the 605, I'm happy with it. It's 70 points above the average. Okay, but of course, if you score already at 605, it means that you can maybe score at 665 and maybe apply to Columbia or Wharton or Harvard or INSEAD. Okay, so you have to push yourself to the limits. So there's no limit. You have to say, I should get the best possible score. Okay, and of course, the problem that you have is that you work at the same time. So I'm sure that you all be professionals. That's why you are here in class. So I'm sure that this morning when you woke up, you'd say, "Wow, what is GMAT? I wish I could stay longer at bed, go to have a breakfast with my friends, and play tennis or paddle in the afternoon, and have to do this GMAT." So basically, yes, it's cumbersome. It's something that you have to do. And what Dominique agreed to do, decided to do, because she really wanted to start this year, she took like some months off. Dominique, that's what you did. You have decided to take
Yes,
time off
exactly.
to be ready. Okay, because there was a time that she was late in the application process. Okay, so and then if she had waited too much, maybe there would be no specific call, or she needed to have an answer. Okay, together, I would strongly suggest, if possible, that you can apply on round one, so that like before January, before Christmas, you know what's going to happen to you. You know where you're going to live. You're going to get money and scholarship for it. So basically, the timing is something essential, especially if you want a scholarship. Okay. So basically, that's what she decided to do. So, and after that, once we have completed the application, it went pretty fast. Because she sent the application, you receive what you receive an interview offer like 2 weeks after. And Dominique, it went pretty fast. How long did it take you? Like 2 weeks? The interview?
Yes, it was really fast. I don't remember now, but it was really fast. There are also some video interview questions that you have to record yourself. I had forgotten that, but it's really easy. It's like you say Jira or something that they give you like a question and 30 seconds to record an answer.
Okay, it's what we call a Kira talent. But if you work together, we prepare for the Kira talent.
Yeah.
And then, so it's true that for the interview part, it's big because you have the Kira talent, you have an interview, and you have the assessment day. So basically, yes, they want to see how you interact, how you talk, and they want really to assess your communication skills, which is normal because it's a program that is business case based. So can you explain to Jordi, Ali, Gabriel, and Juan Miguel the specificity of IESE, the business case method? Can you please explain?
Yes, basically it's not like most schools that give lectures, like there's a teacher in front telling you stuff along 3 hours. It's very interactive, so for each class you need to prepare beforehand. At home you need to read business cases that vary in length, but take you about 1 or maybe 2 hours to prepare each business case. So you work on it alone or with your team at home, and then you go to class and you discuss with the teacher the results and the process that you about how you solved it, instead of them just explaining theoretical concepts.
Okay, so you understand. So basically, you have a business case. Now, if you follow me, I don't know, let me see what happened to that. But if you follow me, you see that in September, I will visit the Harvard Research Center in Paris, and I will interview the people from the Harvard Research Center. And you'll have an opportunity to see what it is and how it works. Okay? Well, what did happen to Harvard? So basically, they build and develop business case, and your job is to come up with solutions, knowing that there is no solution. And therefore the job of the teacher is more like to animate the discussion between all of you. One of the issues is that at you are going to have to write and study a lot of business cases. You know how many you have to study in 2 years, Dominique?
No, I don't know.
I know how many there are. So there are 800. So you're going to work on 800 cases on 800 cases. Over the course of 21 months. So 800 kg. That's why, of course, in IESE, we put that teachers to play well for careers in consulting, because it is very close to the thing in career in consulting. You have more questions? So Ali, Gabriel, Juan, you have a question about how IESE works, what about the interview process?
Yeah, I was wondering, Dominique, you mentioned that it is unusual to do the casework method. I thought this was standard across MBA programs. Like, which are the programs that do not do that?
She's going to reply to you, but basically the schools that have a case base, that have a case are Wharton. At Wharton, you have what we call a case-based discussion. Okay. IMD in Switzerland. I don't know if you have heard about the school in Switzerland. It's a very good school. So they have also an interview day. It used to be before the COVID. It used to be at IMD. Now it's online, which is really stupid. And IESE. As far as I know, among the top 50 schools, these 3 schools only are schools that have case-based discussion. Because of course, when you have an interview with MIT, with Donald Levenson, which is an officer, it's more like an motivation interview. Okay, really, this one is case-based. And by the way, I had one of my colleagues who got rejected during the case-based discussion because they didn't like the way he was doing the case. He was too bossy. Okay, so they told him that they don't like that. But of course, they want to see in situ how you interact with other students. So as you know, talking about MBAs, as you know, in 1905, Harvard University created Harvard Business School, and they took the methodology of the law school. So because when you study law, you have to study case. You know that. So they say, how can we teach them law? So they say, we're going to case studies in the same way as they do it in the law school. And then Harvard became very strong because of that, and they have somehow imposed a benchmark, which is the case-based. Okay. But of course, if you study at INSEAD, only 50% of the classes are case-based discussion. Okay. At Harvard, at IESE, it is 100%. And me, every time I go to IESE with our friends, which is there, so they invite me to their class, it's always a case. Which is, by the way, not bad because at least we interact. You have to prepare something. When you come to class, you prepare. There's a discussion. So it makes the MBA very interactive. Okay. Some people complain that having only cases is an issue because learning finance through cases may be difficult. So it means that you have a lot of extra work to do. If you say, for instance, you're an engineer, you want to learn about finance, you're going to have to make a lot of research because the case requires that you have extra knowledge. So for instance, it means that if you study at IESE, you're going to learn by yourself. Okay, you're going to learn by the case, and so you have to make your own research to understand what is a WAC, if you know about finance, what is the bond, etc. Because you won't be taught in the case, but it requires prior knowledge. Okay, so first, if you already studied business and you're a consultant, you have a big advantage, huge advantage. Gabriel, you have a question about how MBAs are taught, the teaching methodology, the teaching approach? No. So tell me before we finish. So Jordi, where do you want to study, Jordi? Have you already decided where you want to study, Jordi?
I'd love Colombia or INSEAD.
CBS or INSEAD. INSEAD, you want to apply August 6th or you want to apply later on? Because there's a deadline for January, which is August 6th.
Yeah, I'd like to apply for January 2026 J-term. Yes, same for INSEAD.
Yeah, you have time. So you want to do what we call the J-term. So you want to start in January.
Yeah, correct.
Because Colombia, they have a 15-month program that is there. So very good. By the way, to introduce myself, I'm doing now my sort of executive MBA, the lead program at Stanford, so that you have about Stanford GSD. Okay. And I did my research when I was a student. I went to Harvard GSK, and next year I will be at UPenn, Pennsylvania, which is the School of Wharton, as a researcher, but in education, and not in business. Okay, but now I will have a degree in education through Stanford because it gave me a full scholarship. So I know America pretty well. I'm speaking French, and you can hear from my accent, and having cousins, nephews who have studied at INSEAD. Imagine I know INSEAD pretty well. What is the question, Juan Miguel? When do you want to apply? When will you apply and when, Juan Miguel?
I have a few options, all of them in the US. And my target is to join by September 2026.
Yeah. 25, you mean, no?
25, sorry.
Yeah, 25.
Yeah.
So the best would be that you send your application in in September. I don't know if you can do it because one of the big issues that I have with Madrid. So I love my Spanish students. I love them, and I'm so happy to come once in a while to work with you. but there are a lot of students who go to America who come from consulting. Okay, they come from the MBBs, and then there's a lack of diversity. So if I were you, if you come from an MBB, you should apply on round 1. Of course, if you're an entrepreneur, if you work in finance, you can apply round 2. But if you're sponsored by BEN, if you McKinsey, Oliver Wyman, Strategy and from Madrid, you should try to apply early enough because there are a lot of consultants who apply to round 1. And for instance, I was talking to some of my friends because, of course, plus the friend that when you come from the BCG, for instance, the school that they allow you to study at are Stanford, Harvard, Wharton, Columbia, and maybe MIT.
I'm not working with any of those sponsors.
Okay.
No.
So you're lucky, but if you're a consultant as well, and you're an MBB or EY or KPMG, whatever, so basically there's a lack of diversity. Try to apply very fast, very soon, because of this issue. Of course, if you're an entrepreneur and you work in, I don't know, in the fashion industry, and say I can apply to round 2 because my specialty is underrepresented. Okay. So let's say it. So as you plan to apply in September, round 1 or round 2? You don't know yet.
Round 2.
Round 2 because you don't seem to be ready for the. Gabriel, what do you want to apply, Gabriel? Have you already decided?
Probably. Well, I would like to start next year, so I don't know. Probably in January.
The earliest you could start would be for your information. Would be, the earliest you could start would be at Columbia, IE, IMD, CT, and INSEAD in January. That's the earliest. If you, for instance, if I don't know, I'm sure it doesn't happen, but imagine that you have lost your job or you hate your job and you want to do an MBA, it's still possible to start in January. Okay? At Columbia, INSEAD, IMD, IE, and HEC. Okay, you still have room. So if you want to start, you can still start in January. Which school have you got in mind, Gabriel?
I think IESE is my option now.
IESE? Yes, IESE.
Yeah.
So of course, you see what you can see with IESE. You can apply up to March, April 2025 if you have time. One of the issues, I know Paula Amorim, the director of admission, quite well. Who's on my channel. But I will give you an access to my channel. I interview her like once a year. And what I've noticed is that they want Spanish students. So for instance, there's a big difference between IESE and INSEAD. INSEAD, there's like 5 or 6% of the students who are from France. They don't want French students, basically. But in IESE, in their approach, if you know the history of the school, I'm sure that you have made some research. The objective of IESE was to train the tomorrow's manager after Franco's time. And they had already identified that Franco, basically they say, okay, now we have to, but they already knew that probably Spain would join one day the European community, that of course, you globalize the economy, and they will need skilled managers. So that's why they decided to prepare Spain for that. So it's very impressive, by the way, that they could see so far. Okay, in their approach, and of course, so in their DNA, there's training the elite businessmen from Spain. That's why they are ready to take so many trials. Okay. Gabriel, Ali, I don't know who is Ali. He left. Ali, there was Ali. Ali, she left. He left. So basically, so Dominique, famous last word. What would you say? What piece of advice would you give to our guest?
I would say that if you can go and visit the university that you want to apply to, if it's possible, you get like a better sense of where you're gonna go and the people around you. And I would say that don't give up if you don't have the best GMAT, because everyone has a different profile and you don't really know what universities are looking for at that time. So apply and you will get a chance for sure. And if you need any help or advice or whatever, you can write to me on LinkedIn, no problem. I can answer your questions or whatever.
Dominique Nelson. Okay. Now, basically,
Yes.
what I would say, something very important. Too many people believe that they won't prepare an MBA. Let's register for GMAT courses, and they are very right for that. Okay. But at the same time, there are many things that you can improve as well in your application. So first of all, you can make contacts. You have to see that it's important to have like internal recommendations. So you see, for example, if you want to study at for instance, not an issue, but at Columbia, find people. But basically, I would by the way give you a piece of advice: don't find Spaniards, okay? Find an American, find a Japanese, okay? So that you can. Because they prefer that you recommend it by someone who is not from your country, okay? So that you have tried to do connections. Go to school Columbia, INSEAD, organize presentations, so please attend them. They all have business school clubs, so please go visit the business school club. Columbia has a business school club. INSEAD has a business school club. Wharton has a business school club. Harvard has a business school club. Okay, so go make friends there. Attend their events. They have within each business school club there's someone who's in charge of so there is you. What else can I do? No, yes, in terms of profile. Alors, try to improve the profile. So, MBA programs, they like people who are students who have good GMAT scores. So you're doing the right place. But then at the same time, they want people who are international. So for instance, if you can say, your boss can offer to send you to Costa Rica or to Japan or to India, even if you don't like India, go there. Okay. So try to have a profile that is as international as you can. Okay. International as your profile. What else can I say? Yes, leadership activity. Too many people tell me, "Oh, I'm too busy, Dr. Hubert. I cannot be involved in anything outside my work." Okay, so sorry, you're not that busy, but you're not that you can get. Maybe when you're the CEO of a big company, you're busy, but today you're not that busy. So try to be involved. Alors, a good thing that I advise you to, there are two organizations that you should be involved in to develop your leadership activity or show your interest in the world around you. Try to work involved in your university, okay? University companies like career forum, coaching. So try to be a coach at university. Try to attend care forum, to allow your company to develop things in specific university. It's very important. Okay, they love that. You say, for instance, oh yes, I know. They told me that you need to have leadership activity, so I take care of the pets of my neighbor, and I'm also somehow collaborating or volunteering for the Salvation Army. Yeah, why not? Okay, the guy was trying to do something that makes him look like a nice person. Okay, but you could say no. I went to University Carlos Freixeira, and at Carlos Freixeira, I organize webinars, organize coaching sessions so that students know how to find a job, can prepare for an interview. They prefer something like that. They prefer something that is meaningful, something that is connected to you. Okay? Same thing for the company. I'm sure that in your company, you have a lot of initiatives. I'm sure that they develop initiatives or whatever, training interns, organizing the Madrid Marathon, whatever. Okay? So try to be involved in there as well. Okay? If you can do something that is meaningful and that is connected to you. Okay, so develop your network, show your leadership by doing something that is meaningful and connected to you. Of course, get the best possible demand, and together if you want to work, we'll work on the application. Okay. So as you know, we got pretty good results. I will send you our results. So that you see what is offered. Doing the WhatsApp group. You are on the WhatsApp group. Yeah. Hello, Gabriel, Juan Miguel, not in the WhatsApp group. So I will write to you in the WhatsApp group. Okay.
Okay.
And what you want, what we can do, we can have an evaluation, an assessment, and even if you're still you still just at the beginning of the admission process, talk to us because we can give you a lot of very useful, very insightful information on the application process, on what has to be done. You don't apply. You don't start to work on your MBA the day you have taken the GMAT. It's a very long process. because you have to improve your profile. Is Kevin still with us? Kevin?
I'm still here, yes.
Yeah. So basically, that's something that I really advise you to do. Kevin, what else you want to add? Hello?
No, I would just say that it's really important to think about the schools that you're applying to, what sort of score they're looking for, what you can do between now and then to enhance your application, extracurricular activities,
And also,
in advance.
exactly. And also,
You don't ask them at the last minute and they have to be out of town or whatever.
and also since we are, sorry to interrupt you, Kevin. Yeah. And since we're in a GMAT class, it's so important that you make a research, okay, so that you see the type of GMAT, the range that they have. Huh? Okay, because sometimes some of my students they say I need a 695 or 705. Maybe you can make a research. Ask me, Kevin. So okay, what is important? For instance, we have a girl, Maria Paese, who has an interview. She hasn't been accepted yet, but she has an interview with a 665. Sometimes 665 is a very good score. But you don't need a 705 to have an interview. 665, it's already good enough. The 615, you will get instead probably some friends. Yeah, you agree, Kevin?
Yes, of course.
So Dominique, yes, she told us the essential. So we stay in contact, Juan Miguel, Jordi, and Gabriel. So of course I understand that you're not going to apply for Jordi, for Juan Miguel. Yes, you're going to apply soon somehow because round 2 means that you have to start to work on the application in October. So try to be done with your GMAT in about 3 months, 3 or 4 months time. Okay, and as Kevin will tell you, it takes usually much more time than you believe. You agree, Kevin? Very rare that people
Yes.
back in 2 months.
Probably activate the time and multiply that by about 1.5 or by 2.
And also what is important with Kevin is that, as you know, after you're done, you know about all this, but you have like private tutoring, it's important that you stay in contact with him. Don't say, many people will, but they are really very close and attached to you, but stay in contact with Kevin and come back to him if you have any problem. One of the issues that you may have is that the GMAT may be an issue. We, for instance, in Paris, we no longer teach the GMAT, it's the GRE. A lot of students switch to the GRE, a lot of them. So we found out that it doesn't make sense that after 1 month, if I want to do the GMAT, the GRE, so that maybe you have better than us in Paris, but also something that you can discuss with Kevin. I'm not taking it. Maybe can I try a test that may be easier, okay? Or there's another test called the EDHEC, something that you have to try. Okay, so, but don't be desperate. Normally, if you work with Kevin, if you work together, you will get sad. I never had any failure. All Kevin students that work with me, they all get sad. Okay, usually at Columbia we do pretty well, but probably Kevin told you about me. Okay.
Good.
Thank you very much. You will receive an access to the recording, but our team has to work on the recording. So before we put it on YouTube, they will start to work on it. It will probably be online tonight. And Kevin, I will send you the link to the recording if your student wants to watch the recording with Dominique, and we'll send Dominique's LinkedIn account, so that they
Thank
can
you.
to her. So Dominique, thank you very much. Where are you going on vacation? Are you going to Greece as well?
No.
Actually,
Because if
I'm
you go
going
to Greece, you can ask Kevin. He knows everything about Greece. He has been to Greece.
Yes, he's learning Greek.
Okay, so he even speaks Greek. If you ask him anything about Greece, there will be Greece has no secret for him. Kevin.
there's some secrets. But I want to thank both of you
Yeah.
for taking time out of your weekend to talk to my students.
Of course, it's normal.
No problem.
Thank you so much.
Kevin.
Yes, thanks a lot.
Really good to see you again.
Bye bye.
Yes,
Bye-bye.
really good.
Juan
See
Miguel,
you.
bye
Bye.
Jordi, and bye bye Gabriel.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
He gives good advice, but he's very difficult to understand.
But I understood
10%.
About 10%, yeah.
No, not 10%. If you pay 25%.
But we need to use the game.
But the funny thing is, I searched for him on Google. I
Yes.
found how to answer adults. How come it's impossible to understand with
I thought I was stupid, but
No. I listened to him and said, I don't understand it.
and he repeats and repeats a lot, which means like he's a lot. Then
The trouble is that if you speak a foreign language with an accent, you have to speak slowly.
yeah,
You can't speak at your normal speed.
I understood a quarter of what he said. It was embarrassed because I could not even understand what he was asking. Okay, so thank you so much.
All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
yes, hopefully.
So how was class today on a scale from 0 to 10? 10 is super easy, piece of cake. 5, struggling but surviving.
5.
5,
Under 5.
under 5.
Usually I learn slow, but that can sometimes be a bad idea.
Sometimes it's frustrating in the sense that I fall behind, but it's close to impossible for me to get up to your speed. As I told him, I've been away from math many years. And even when I was in touch with math, my relationship was not that good. Then it's good, but during the week I've been working with the recordings. And I get to understand much more than the speed of the.
Oh, sure.
of the
But the second time you know what's going to happen, you can think more about the details.
Yeah. So for me, it's very easy to work after work.
That's why I record the class.
Yeah.
Good.
So, okay.
All right.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
All right.